So in this series, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that I wish I had done when I was in school so I'd be better prepared and not have to do it while I work as well. Hi, my name is Liz, and I'm going to be creating a series about different daycare things, challenges that come up, or some things that I have learned along the way. So I am brand new to the early childhood education field. I just got my certificate 4 months ago, so I am still very green, but learning lots, but also learning so many things along the way that I wish I had done in school when I had a bit more time or a bit more focus on it to where I am now. So number 1 would be to prepare a binder of all the different sensory activities and recipes so that I'd just be able to refer to them, try them out, see if they worked. If they didn't work, that's okay too. But I find right now with working, because I don't have a binder, I'm just trying to think of different ways of how to stimulate kids. See, at the water table, what else can we put in? Of course, my coworkers have been great and they have lots of ideas, but I would also like to contribute something, more than just putting some paint and sparkles into some water. So having those recipes or having those ideas of what you can do, how do you make Play-Doh? How do you make Play-Doh if you don't have certain ingredients? Kids love slime. I don't have those slime recipes off the top of my head, and they do take a little bit of time to put those things together and actually do it. So being able to have a binder, which I'm doing now, with all the recipes, and you could try them and say, oh, that one didn't work or that one was great. And then also the sensory activities. So I also combine a little bit of science to that too, right? So reactions, chemical reactions. So can we put vinegar into, water droppers and do different things with baking soda? So those type of sensory things. What are some other ways we can do things with sand? Things that you can freeze and then the kids can unthaw using different methods like salt or water droppers, different things like that. So having a binder of all those different ways, they don't have to be all tested, but I can at least try them with the kids and see if they work or not. So number 2 would be social emotional stories or activities or games. So it was a little bit in my schooling of, if a child is biting, then reading books, but kind of taking it to the next level of different things we could do at circle or games. So I am putting more of a collection now of different games and things that I can see what's happening in the daycare and then researching it. And so that's kind of my own time. There is time allotted at my daycare to do activity planning and preparation, but it really doesn't seem like there's going to be enough time to do all these things to really research them out. So I think if I were going back in time into schooling, I would focus on social emotional games, social emotional activities. So when I was in school, I found Tucker the Turtle and I made a turtle puppet, and that's a really great one for circle time. They really like the story. You can print out the story and laminate it, and the kids ask that on again and again. And that's for the stories about hitting or yelling, and it's a technique for breathing and taking 3 deep breaths. So that's a great example of a social emotional story, but also things like rock, paper, scissors, right? Like teaching the children how to play a rock, paper, scissors game. You're making it fun, you're making it interactive, and then they can use that to handle disputes or arguments within themselves. And so another social emotional game that we play is just having the faces with different emotions on the card. cards, especially at circle time. The kids all do the emotions, and then we play a game with that where put all the cards into a bag, and then like one kid comes up and looks at the card and has to try to do the emotion, and other friends kind of have to guess. So it's just a little bit of learning, but it really does, you know, start recognizing and naming the emotions that they think it is, and it makes it fun and interactive. So the third thing would be creating felt stories, more felt stories. I love to do them at circle time. The kids really seem to gravitate to them and like them. I wish I did some more durable felt stories as well, just because once you tell a felt story in circle time, if you are able to leave it out, if you feel comfortable with it, or if it's the centers, the kids really do use it and reenact the felt story. So just really depending on it is, they make up their own story, they add a little pieces to your own story, and you kind of see different directions that they take them in. But having those felt stories do take time, of course. So in my circle time, I have been trying to really get the kids involved, and me just being the narrator and kind of the overseer, just to make sure that everyone's kind of getting a chance at circle time. So we have helpers at our circle time. So when I'm saying the song, or like, you know, 5 Little Fishes, I have my helper, and it changes week by week or day by day, and the child is able to take a fish away. So having those felt stories be more durable, and then just like, they don't need a new felt story every day, but having different felt stories, especially for the seasons, maybe something that they like. And kids really like repetitive stories. They really seem to gravitate to those, because then they can basically make it up and do it by themselves, you know, after a month, or some kids it's like the next day. So those are the 3 main areas that I am focusing on right now. So going into an early childhood education center is very different for me, and it can be easily overwhelming. You know, you have the aspects of your coworkers, the kids, their own personalities, behaviors, parents, and then providing all these different supports for the kids, and then thinking about the room as well as yourself, your vocabulary you're using, basically the instructions, how you're saying things, how you're presenting yourself. So there's just so many different facets, and for me, sometimes I'm on autopilot for some things, and some things I'm really in tune. So being able to just be, oh, here's what I need, here are the resources, that I'm able to plan ahead and put those together. So being able to reference to them, put more of a collection, and being able to focus my attention to being present with the children and taking what their interests are and then building off of that. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!